Tonight, we journey east. Not through empires or conquests, but through fear, dust, and silence, where shadows stretch long across the dunes, and ancient voices ride the wind. For centuries, the Silk Road connected the known world, from Rome to Chang'an, Samarkand to Kashgar. It brought wealth, trade, and culture. But it also carried darker cargo, stories of jinn and desert spirits, of vanished caravans, of places cursed by forgotten gods. This is not a tale of heroes or generals. This is a tale of night watchmen who heard footsteps behind them, of travelers who vanished beneath a red moon, of demons carved into stone and burned into memory. Let your breath slow. Let the sand shift. And listen to the haunted tales of the Silk Road. You are a caravan guard. Your life is movement. Heat by day. Cold by night. Sand in your teeth, in your clothes, in your soul. Your caravan trudges slowly beneath a waning moon. The camels groan. Their feet know the path better than you do. You haven't slept in 3 nights. The man beside you says he saw something last night, a figure, far off in the dunes. Watching. Not moving. Just watching. You laughed. Then you stopped laughing. Because you saw it too. The desert is wide. Too wide. And silent in a way that makes you hear things. Your own name whispered in a tongue you don't recognize. A bell when there are no goats. A child crying, miles from the nearest village. The other guards tie iron amulets to their belts. They carry salt in small bags and keep knives under their pillows. When you stop for the night, no one speaks loudly. You form a circle. Fires are lit. But no singing. No stories. Just firelight flickering across tired faces. Sometimes, men don't wake up. And the next morning, the sand is smooth where they slept. No body. No tracks. Just a scuffed leather boot half buried, like the dune swallowed them. The desert takes more than it gives. And yet, you press forward, toward Samarkand, Kashgar, or maybe nowhere. You see a stone ahead, blackened, half buried. Carved with symbols that make your skin crawl. You look away. But something tells you it saw you first. This is what it's like to be a guard on the Silk Road. Riches may pass through your hands, but so do omens. And at night, you watch the horizon and wonder. Will you see the stars again? Or will something in the dark come to collect your name? The year is 643 CE. The Tang dynasty reigns in golden splendor. And in the far western desert, past the final outposts of civilization, lies a shrine few dare to enter. In the records of a Buddhist pilgrim named Xuanzang, yes, the same one who traveled from China to India in search of scriptures, there is a curious, rarely mentioned passage. It describes a monastery carved into a cliff face, long abandoned, where the spirits of wrath still dwell. You arrive with a merchant delegation hoping to rest within its stone halls. Dusk has already fallen, and the desert wind wails through the empty doorways. The walls are scorched, fire-blackened centuries ago, but the statues remain. One in particular catches your eye. It is enormous. A black-faced figure with red eyes and teeth like a tiger. Its arms stretch wide, its palms pierced with bronze nails. Around its feet are piles of faded offerings, coins, feathers, bones. The locals call it Tikara, the Dark One. Some say it was once a god, fallen into rage. Others say it was once a man who murdered a caravan in this very place and was cursed to stand vigil forever. That night, your party eats in silence. The wind grows stranger. At first, it sounds like flute music. Then it becomes a chant. Then a cry. No one will admit they hear it. One man walks out to relieve himself and never comes back. Another screams in his sleep, claiming the statue moved. You try to rest, wrapped in wool and silence, but something is wrong. The shrine feels alive. You dream of the black-faced statue, rising, walking, stepping past your firelight. When dawn comes, 3 members are missing. Their belongings remain untouched. No blood. No tracks. Just the soft hiss of sand against stone. Weeks later, you reach the nearest oasis city and mention what happened. The old woman at the gate nods grimly. They went too close, she says. No man walks past the black-faced demon and returns unchanged. Centuries later, archaeologists will find that very shrine, burned, buried, and empty. But in the wall behind the altar, scratched into the stone with shaking hands, is a phrase repeated dozens of times in fading Sanskrit. Do not call his name. The desert doesn't forget. Even if the people are long gone, even if their names are lost, the bones remain. And so do the stories carved into the sand. You walk with a small expedition, traders, monks, and a scholar from Dunhuang, along a branch of the Silk Road that winds past ancient ruins. There are no towns here, just broken walls and the bleached ribcages of once mighty towers. The scholar, soft-spoken and blinking behind dusty spectacles, tells you this place was once known as Inma, a caravanserai swallowed by the dunes over 800 years ago. But its name is whispered, not spoken. They say it was cursed. Locals believe the sands hold spirit stones, small, polished orbs etched with swirling symbols. They're not meant to be touched. They mark where the dead sleep uneasily. One of your companions finds one anyway. He laughs. He pockets it. That night, the camels refuse to settle. They groan and spit, eyes wide and rolling. The wind rises. A whisper, soft and low, slithers through the tents. You can't sleep. The man who took the stone begins muttering. In Persian? In Sanskrit? No one knows. He is fevered. Cold. Eyes rolled back. He speaks a name none of you recognize. You bury the stone the next morning, right where he found it. He recovers, slowly. No one speaks of it again. Later, as you rest beneath a crumbling tower, the monk beside you tells a story. A caravan once tried to loot a tomb nearby. Gold, ivory, even scrolls with talismans were taken. Every man in the party died before returning home, sandstorms, madness, poison. One was said to have burst into flames beneath a blue sky. The merchant's wife returned what she could. But said the wind still cried her husband's name each spring. Archaeologists, centuries later, would confirm some of these tombs exist. But what puzzled them were the amulets, tiny carved demons with sharp teeth and serpent eyes, often buried near the dead, not to protect them, but to bind them. You feel the weight of centuries under your feet. Every step on the Silk Road passes over someone's grave. And perhaps not every ghost wants to be left behind. At a crossroads deep in the Taklamakan, a monk and a merchant sit across from each other. They both came here by camel, through the same sandstorms, drinking the same brackish water, and sleeping beneath the same stars. But what they carry in their hearts could not be more different. The merchant counts his silver coins and amber beads, his lacquered boxes from China, and silk bolts hidden beneath barley sacks. He speaks in many tongues and trusts no one. He wears an iron ring inscribed with a mantra, not for belief, but for luck. The monk wears no rings. He carries no coins. Only scrolls, prayers, and a bone flute. He speaks softly and listens more. He believes in spirits. He's seen them. At night, the merchant dreams of falling, of endless desert and hands pulling at his robes. The monk dreams of light and shadow walking hand in hand. In Samarkand, they part ways. The merchant goes to the bazaar, his satchels heavy. The monk enters a stupa, its incense already rising. But even in this great city of wealth and wonder, the old fears linger. At the edge of the marketplace, a beggar mutters about a faceless man seen beneath the bridge at dusk. In the bathhouse, a nobleman refuses to bathe after sundown. He once saw red footprints that did not belong to the living. A dancer collapses after a performance and wakes murmuring a prayer in a language she never learned. Still, life moves on. The wheels of commerce turn. The gods are honored with silk and saffron. The demons are placated with salt and whispers. You begin to understand. The Silk Road was more than a network of trade, it was a crossroads of belief. Every stone, every wind-swept shrine, every face along the way, had its own story of what could not be seen, but could still be feared. The monks offered chants. The merchants carried charms. And the people, common and noble alike, carried their silence. You realize now that the real ghosts of the Silk Road are not just the spirits that walk the sand. They are the stories. The fears passed from tongue to tongue, hidden in lullabies and ledger books alike. And as you drift into sleep, rocked gently by the rhythms of ancient travel, remember. Even across vast deserts and forgotten kingdoms. Some footsteps never vanish. They only grow quieter.